Hi, everyone, and welcome. I am Laureen Quick. I'm really grateful to be here today with Nechumah Getz as part of our ongoing conversations leading up to the Next Chapter Summit happening July 9th through 12th. This July, our summit theme is Independence After 50. And by that, I mean not as isolation or self-sufficiency, but as learning how to stay connected to yourself while still staying connected to others. One of the realities many women discover during this time of life is that while they may have spent years caring for others, building families, supporting careers, and meeting responsibilities, they often find themselves longing for deeper connection, meaningful friendships, and places where they feel they truly belong. Connection is not simply a nice addition to life, it is an essential part of healing, growth, resilience, and reinvention. Nechumah's work speaks beautifully into that space through her work creating opportunities for women to gather, move, explore nature, and build authentic relationships. She has firsthand seen the powerful role that community plays in helping women reconnect to themselves and to one another. Today's conversation is titled The Power of Connection: Why Women Need Spaces to Belong After 50. Together, we're going to explore why connection becomes increasingly important during times of transition, what women gain through shared experience and community, and how belonging can support both independence and personal growth. Nechumah, I am so honored to have you here today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It's a privilege to be here with you.
Love it. I just love that you're a part of this summit, that you're willing to share your wisdom and insights and expertise. So thank you. I'm going to
It's
jump in and just ask this first question. Many women over 50 have spent years caring for others, holding their families together, navigating major life transitions. Why do you think connection and community become so important at this time of our lives?
a great question. And I think that when we are younger and we have those structures that you were talking about, like keeping our family together, when you have children, you have activities that involve those kids and other kids' parents. You go into the office, perhaps, back in the day when people went into the office regularly and you had connections from work. And now, in this stage of our lives, our children don't need us. We are not dropping them off anywhere. And so we are missing those natural connections that came with being a caregiver to people who needed us physically, like they needed us to physically drive them, or they needed us emotionally as they were in their years to be independent. And now, hopefully, if we've done our job right, they are on their own, right? I mean, that is the goal, is that our children fly off. And so that natural connection with the other people that we raise our children with, when it says it takes a village, that's no longer there. And at least for me, I found that only a few of those friends were really my friends as opposed to just friends of convenience. And when
Mhm.
I say friends of convenience, I mean friends that are important for whatever time that you are in. So it wasn't like they were just convenient friends. And I did enjoy spending time with them, but they're not people that were like friends that have stayed with me throughout the various transitions. And I do think that each time a person transitions, and midlife is a transition, you need to create your own circle again. You need to find those friends that are going to be with you in whatever your new journey is. And so a lot of us in our 50s and above are creating a journey about ourselves. It's now our time. And we as women want community. It's a biological necessity for us. And so now we need to find those friends that are focused on the community and on the passions that we are going into.
You say that very well and explain that greatly in terms of just, oh my gosh, yes, you've covered it all. We start to find out that the people we used to hang out with as friends, we just don't have as much in common anymore. So we start
Right,
to lose them and we all fall away from each other. It's a natural process.
right.
And at the same time, obviously our children don't need us as much anymore. And so we begin to see we have a lack of connection in our life. And that
Hmm.
creates another level of a sense of loneliness.
Yes,
And we thrive as human beings, we thrive on community and
yes.
connection. Yeah, we do. So, and the other piece that I really loved about what you said, which I think was perhaps the most profound and powerful, is that as we shift and change, as we go through transitions, we change. And so, therefore, we should expect that we would want to find new people who share our new perspectives, our new interests, our new worldviews of life to whatever degree that happens, right? Because not everyone who we've known for years and years is making the same changes we are.
And I think it's okay. I think some people um, try to fit a square peg in a round circle or something, and they try to keep those friendships. But I know even with me, some of my best friends, our interests have diverged, or they're finding their paths, and their paths are not the same as my path. And I think that we have to just sit there and say, that's okay. We had what we had with them, and it doesn't mean that our friendships are disappearing, they're just evolving. And some of
Mhm.
them may disappear, but I don't think a goal of a friendship is to hang on tight no matter what. I think we have an unlimited capacity for friends and for love. And we might not have a capacity for time to always see people all the time. And that's where the shift comes, that as we evolve, we end up spending time with people that are evolving in the same way. And those other friends are people that we speak to less often, but perhaps when we do connect, if they were friends of the heart, when we do connect is as if we never stop connecting, but we still need those daily friends. And so I have one friend that I still keep in contact with from when I was in right after college, but we diverged. She moved across the country, but whenever we get together, it's like no time has passed. But she's not the person who is going to come over when I'm feeling sad because she lives 3,000 miles away. So,
Yeah.
and I think that we have to accept it and not fight it and open ourselves up to embrace the opportunity of new friendships.
I agree totally. And I think it's also interesting because I had a friend talk to me about her experiences lately with some friendships that have fallen away.
Hmm.
And she was going through a lot of grief.
Hmm.
And when we talked some more about this conversation, what she finally concluded was it wasn't that they were such good friends that she felt like somehow she had failed as a friend because she had lost them. There was no more connection felt between them. It was really that they were close friends.
Hmm.
She missed the closeness.
Right.
And somehow making that distinction for her allowed her to think in her mind, then what I'm really looking for is not a bunch of good friends, judgment
Right.
there. I want close friends. I want an intimate and deep connection with the
Hmm.
new people that I meet in my life. So thinking about that and knowing that you also work with bringing women into the out of doors and create communities of women that hike together, that move together. What do you think it is about being outside and being with other women in nature that allows women to not only reconnect more with themselves, but also with each other?
So I think that nature has a natural calming effect. And when you're in nature, your barriers seem to fall away a little bit more. You become more calm. And in the community that I'm creating, part of the reason people are joining it is a little bit of self-selection. And so they are joining it because they want to meet other people. And so they're more open to meeting people. And I have heard all the time people say, wow, I'm meeting such interesting people that I would never have become friends with or never even said hi to because their paths had no way of connecting. And so when you get involved and the other thing is you're all self-selecting. You want to be in nature. So you already have a commonality there, just like if your kid went to a soccer was playing soccer and you were just hanging out with parents at the soccer line, right? You're self-selecting in that you may never have met these people, but you're all there for one purpose. So the purpose here is you're there to experience nature and to exercise and to meet new people. So if you've self-selected that, then you open yourself up a little bit more, and nature helps that. On my hike yesterday, there was a huge snake. It wasn't poisonous, and we were just watching it crawl up a tree. And it was so cool. And that's in a way, for us at least, a unique experience. Some people are afraid of snakes. And the three of us on the hike, we were enraptured with it. And then afterwards, we're all posting about it, or we looked it up. And so we are creating little seeds of connection right there through that snake. And now the three of us became a little bit closer because we shared an experience that was quite unique. And then we're all talking about it to our friends. And so we have that shared experience. And I think shared experiences are what create deeper friendships. And being in nature removes some of, makes you more relaxed, that you're more open to different points of view.
And I think that what you just said is very powerful as well because it is you deepen your connections through shared experience. A text or a chat online will only go so far
Right.
to create that experience. Then when we actually come together, even if it's once or twice a year, it doesn't have to be all the time, right? We create something uniquely that we do what we call bonding, right? We bond together over a shared experience. So it is really important as we get older and we work to make new friends that we open ourselves up to having shared experiences. And hiking is definitely being in the outdoors is definitely one of
Hmm.
the more powerful ones that at least I can think of off the top of my head. Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, one final question and then we'll wrap up for today. So many women want independence, but they also long for belonging. What does the term independence without isolation mean to you? And have you seen women discover that when they begin, what have you seen women discover what happens to them when they begin being supported again by them, by their friends, by their community? Two questions, really.
Well, so I think for me, independence means that you have the confidence to be alone, which in a way is different than loneliness. So independence and loneliness can seem similar, but they're very different. I mean, they can both be alone, but independence is more in my mind a choice, and it's because you have the confidence and you're choosing to do something alone because you have that independence. And when you're hiking, one of the things I'm teaching people is how to be strong, how to navigate trails, how to, how to buy the correct gear for hiking, and how not to be afraid of the unknown, um, and how to go out on these new trails for the first time. And so, in a way, I'm creating independence through being supported by other women. I'm running a backpacking trip in October, and the whole concept of that is to guide people on how to backpack and guiding them on training so that ultimately they can be independent backpackers. And so it's that being supported on how to do something you've never done before, or something that you may not want to go solo because you like the connection, but you have the confidence that you can. And so that to me is independence is confidence.
It's also it's good. That's a great example in terms of the outdoors because even though I might be independent and hiking with you, I have a different set of skills than you have. And so
Hmm.
we can also rely on each other to help us learn more about our experiences in the world.
Yes.
And so we each come with great confidence, we come with great skills, but we share together and we grow and evolve together because of that. And again, that's a shared experience that just creates a deeper connection for us, just like the women looking at the snake crawling up the tree.
Yes. That's
Fascinating.
great. That's
Yes.
great. Yeah.
Nahama, thank you so much for this conversation. What I appreciate so much about your perspective is the reminder that connection is not something we outgrow as we become more independent. It is something that we actually need in order to thrive. So many women spend years caring for other people, navigating transitions on their own, carrying responsibilities. And then they find themselves feeling disconnected from community, from friendship, and sometimes even from themselves. What you shared so beautifully today is that belonging does not require us to give up our independence. In many ways, genuine connection gives us the support, encouragement, and courage that we need to be more fully ourselves. I think this conversation will resonate deeply with many women who are longing for meaningful relationships, supportive communities, and really places where they can simply go, show up, and be themselves. For everyone listening, Nechumah will be joining us live during the Next Chapter Summit on Sunday, July 12th, for her conversation, The Power of Connection: Why Women Need Spaces to Belong After 50. It is going to be a beautiful continuation of what we explored here today. Thank you again, Nechumah. I really look forward to continuing this conversation with you during the summit. And thank you to everyone watching. We hope that you will join us for the July Next Chapter Summit. To learn more about the summit or to register for the event, you'll find the link in the show notes to this recording. We truly hope to see you there. Thanks for watching.